Actually, one of the most prolific serial killers of all time. I can't remember. It was like he had like a whole hotel that he bought and had them build like all these intricacy like
Yeah, the dude.
stairways that went to nowhere and everything. And he like it
That
was
was Jack
during
the
the
Ripper.
Chicago.
That was Jack the Ripper.
What? I thought
That
that was in England.
that was before he went to England.
No shit.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah, he had gas
like his
chambers,
biggest.
one-way doors that couldn't get out. He had
Mhm.
chutes that goes all the way down to drop them right into fucking lime and shit
Yeah,
to
save him for
dissolve.
later.
Yeah. Well, he sold body parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
Oh, shit.
that's what it was, and that's kind of why he had to run, and that's when he went to
Oh, and
England.
that's when he went to England.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so nobody knew who he was
Yeah.
when he left, and then when he went
Oh.
over there, he was kind of doing the same thing, just selling body parts and shit like that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're in the business, I don't think that's when you really get out of.
No, I guess
Yeah.
not.
Or
Yeah, not when, hey man, I just sold this skull and this femur to somebody.
yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, and they're just walking around for the pickings.
Yep. I guess it was like a total misconception, I mean, I thought he was just like killing hookers.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the main story, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it
like
wasn't
that's
just it. I mean, he killed other
oh.
people too.
Yeah. So that guy, I think it was around the time the Olympics were in Chicago. And like supposedly because there were so many people coming in and out, he was just like it was a buffet. You
Oh,
know?
I bet.
He was making a killing. Ah.
So they're 99% assuming that it's the same guy that had the hotel in New York. That
That's
was
pretty
Jack the
close.
Ripper, but they're still saying that Jack the Ripper could have been a woman,
Yeah.
So
Jacqueline the Ripper.
yeah, this dude's like great grandson found some paperwork and thinks that he's related to him and shit, and
Oh
so
God.
they took all the paperwork and all the writing and stuff, and it's just pretty damn
Yeah.
close to being
Is
a
that scary
match.
or like, oh, that's kind of cool? Like if you found that, you're like,
Yeah,
oh man.
well,
Like,
I don't know. It's
yeah, yeah, it's like
not my baby,
not my
so
baby, no
whatever.
problem.
I mean, if I can get rich off of my great granddaddy being a murderer, then sure.
Yeah.
I
Write a
mean,
book.
I
Have
didn't
someone write a book for
I
you.
didn't do it. I don't condone it, but
Yeah.
you know, $20 is $20.
$20 is $20, baby. All right. How we sounding? How we looking?
You guys sound great.
You look great over there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chilling.
All right. You ready to rock? You ready to rock?
Mhm.
You ready for the Stroke Show episode 3? With the interview with Hudeeny. Catching up because part of the crew. Part of the crew moving forward. And
The misbegotten son.
yeah, so I'm just gonna ask you some of these questions.
Oh.
See kind of where you're sitting. And then I believe we're gonna be diving into feelings on upcoming 9-ball league.
Okay.
So yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I can assume, but yeah, I'm excited to hear that. I'm excited to hear. So, all right. So, question 1, we're gonna do what initially lured you into this lifelong passion? That is now billiards.
Oh well, I don't think I had a choice. We were military.
You didn't have a choice.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to do on the base, and bowling was really expensive. So
Okay.
we all just gathered at the teen center playing arcades and playing
Okay.
pool. And so I started at like 12.
Mhm.
You know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I started.
So it's been a
pretty
while.
young.
At the same time, you were killing that arcade as well.
No,
Or
different.
not that
different.
one, but yeah, same.
Same but
time.
different.
Yeah, same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah. I think I might know this one, but what's your favorite game to play?
So it's definitely 8-ball. It's
8-ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just more of a skill challenge.
And is that what you started off playing? Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, when
at
you're that
12?
young, you didn't really know that there were other games
Oh,
to
yeah,
play.
yeah, true. Yeah, I didn't.
So,
Yeah.
and back in the day, it was different. We had the rule set. If the cue ball was on the rail, you would put your
Oh, I remember
your
that.
stick
Yeah,
there so you
yeah.
can get it away from the rail. So,
Mhm.
but it was helpful. I mean, it didn't teach us too much. It taught us how not to play eventually.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I put it on the rail on purpose, which I do all the time.
right,
So
these days,
next
yes,
time we play, can I do that?
if I can.
All right. You heard it here. Yeah. Um. So favorite. What's your worst? What's your least favorite?
Considering we're about to go into the 9-ball season, 9-ball,
9-ball,
definitely,
baby. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And it's just a skill thing. I
Mhm.
just don't like the fact that somebody can hit the balls hard enough and you can lose the match. You know,
Yeah. Well,
it's just one of those things. You know, if I
maybe you need to hit the
lose,
balls harder. And
yeah, well, maybe, but it's just less of a skill game, I feel, and that's
I will say, yeah. Well,
it's fun, but A balls
going up
still.
the higher tier you go up in the game, there's less of that. You don't have people just
Oh, absolutely.
slamming balls, and so it's more of a gentleman's game at that point. But yeah, when we're at the bar or even in league,
Yeah.
somebody gets safety, they're slamming the ball or if they don't have a shot, and
Oh yeah.
there goes the
It's
9. Yeah,
it's absolutely terrible to lose to
yeah.
somebody who can barely hold a stick.
And even
But
when it
they
happens
hit it
to
hard enough just to make it.
yeah, even when it happens to you, do you feel good about it?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I
It's not
don't.
a great feeling.
I don't. And that's why, in 9 ball, if of course, if the stakes are high and stuff and it's an easy combo for the 9 in, I'll take it.
Right.
But 90% of the time, if I'm not, playing a tournament or something, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I would rather run the balls out than hit the easy 9 in. So
Yeah. Well, I think it's more reliable. I mean, you're a good shot, so relying on your shot capability rather than a maybe combo or
in a sense,
just
in a sense, yeah. But I mean,
crossing your fingers for
and
the
it's
luck.
I mean, pool is all about repetition anyway. I mean, an
Mhm.
easy out kind of diminishes that a little bit, I think. I think if you could just run them out, and continue on your consistency, that's probably better for you.
Oh, for sure.
But
Big
if
time.
somebody was really annoying me and I wanted to get it over with, then absolutely.
Yeah, I need a
mean, I will,
cigarette. I need to step outside.
I will
just
take
want it
that
over.
shot 9 times out of 10 just to get out of there.
Yeah. All right. So you brought up runouts.
Mm.
Do you remember your first runouts? Since you've been playing since 12. Were you 12 when it happened?
No, I wasn't 12. I was, I think I was 15.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you started playing, you started playing.
I think at that time, I mean, I think the balls were just aligned for me at that time. So having a run out like that is, when you have everything set up for you super easy. I don't think it was my skill that made it happen. I
You
think
still had to execute.
I think it was just everything set up perfectly, and I didn't screw it up.
Did you realize you got a break and run during that? Like,
Not really.
Not really?
Not really. I mean, we were just kids,
Yeah.
just running around having fun. I think after the game we just ran outside and started playing tag.
yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah.
it meant as much as it does now, because there was no competition. Really, we were doing it for fun, for a
Yeah,
pastime.
right. Yeah.
We weren't like, having, money on the games or anything like that. It
Mhm.
was just, okay, game's over, and let's go, play something else.
Right,
Let's go
yeah.
do something else.
On to the next. It was just a
Right.
hobby amongst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, all right. What is one memorable one then, or like a highlight or one of your favorite highlights, or a more memorable run out, or you choose,
It
and worst moment too. That's
It-
spicy.
it was probably in the same place. It was down in Arizona. I was going to college for something. It was just a complete waste of time. I spent more time at the pool hall anyway, and
Yeah.
so no, I did not get my degree.
He got it in pool.
Right. So I think my favorite run out was the local pool hall there. There was just two really, really big loudmouths. And
Ooh, it was
they
a put in place run out.
it
Yeah.
was, and they were so just loud about how good they were and what their rating was and everything else. And at that point, I mean, I wasn't even rated. And so having somebody that wasn't rated or in the pool scene as much as they were to put them out and get beat by an unknown, I mean, that made me feel good, because other than the fact that they were just straight a-holes, it felt good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when you
Yeah.
beat your best friend, you're still glad you won, but it doesn't feel as good as
Yeah,
putting,
no.
putting a
No,
couple
no.
a-holes in their place.
Yeah. When you're playing somebody you dislike and you win, I mean,
Yeah.
I was professional about it, and I was just like, I
Of
just
course.
set the stick down and just kind of walked away. You're just kind of passive
Well, the
aggressive.
professional adds that little like level to it. You're snotty about it. It's like,
Yeah,
you're
well,
just stupid to that level. But,
by no
yeah.
means was I professional at that point either. I was just having fun, and
Yeah. You just didn't want to hear
I'm
the
not
shit.
I'm not gonna name the place, but they allowed underage people to drink there. So
Oh, yeah, it's a different time.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, we got to know me and my roommates. We got to know the bartenders really well too. So we hung out after they were closed, and
Mhm.
you know they had some really cool setups there. They had a couple bumper pool tables. They had specific 9 ball tables. It was weird. It didn't like affect the game very much, but they had the rack like glued to the felt there, so you could just set the balls right into place. You never had to
Oh,
pull
that's
out
kind
a
of
rack
cool.
or anything.
Or people just kept stealing them.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah. I mean, it was. I think this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the place had like maybe 40
Yeah,
pool
y'all didn't. You
tables.
couldn't wait a month
So
to get one shipped up there to
yeah,
you. Yeah.
right. They had all different kinds of tables there. They
The
had
bumper
different
pool.
sections, and yeah, the bumper pool.
Is that the one with
Well,
like
I
in
meant
the
I meant
like the
like they had
square?
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot
Oh, okay,
tables, and then they
gotcha.
had bumper pool tables, and then they had ones just specifically designed. It was a weird setup. I don't think they lasted very long because eventually those small divots that they had in there just started to wear out, and
Hmm.
I wasn't there long enough to know what the fate was of those pool
Hmm.
tables, but I doubt they lasted.
Yeah.
But
Well, now you know what a great table is all about as
yeah,
well, and then like how difficult is it to just settle otherwise?
well, you use what you get, or
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. But now,
money is a factor in it
yeah.
for sure, and there's I guess a great table gives you room to upgrade and improve.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the consistency, like you said earlier, right?
Hmm.
Like there's just that constant. Like it is a game to where when you do step away, even for a month, couple weeks, you feel it.
Yeah,
You feel it. Like it
absolutely.
takes.
I mean,
Hopefully, you get in stroke that evening. But yeah,
sure, it is kind of like riding a bike. You don't forget how to do it, but you're just not as good as you were
yeah,
until you get back
yeah.
on it a little bit.
You're not doing any
So,
backflips.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
right
mean,
off the bat.
I used to turn 90-degree turns on my bike with no hands, and now I just, nope, not even gonna risk it.
All right, after the show, we're gonna test it out.
We got a bike?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we got a scooter in the back.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll push you really fast.
all right, Matt, get it working before this is done.
Uh, well, I guess we'll go through these a little bit more. We're kind of mixing it all together. Do you have a favorite player to watch? And also a player that you would like to emulate or put some of their game into your own?
I mean, you can't take away from Efren Reyes, of course,
Yeah,
but
and if you tried, there'd be problems.
yeah, yeah, you can imitate, not emulate,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
it with
Right,
him, but
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
yeah, I don't I respect Strickland for
Mhm.
his consistency to it.
His accomplishments. Yeah, I mean
Don't
he
really
got
like his
those.
attitude for the
Mhm.
most part.
Yeah,
But his skill set's undeniable.
yeah,
But for recent, I mean, I bought a Q-Tech. I have a Van Boeing
yeah,
carbon fiber, so he's my guy right now. And
yeah.
yeah,
SVB. He's
yep,
robotic as shit compared, according to Mass A. So
he is.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean,
he's
in the
methodical
best ways
though.
possible.
Yeah,
In the best ways possible.
no, I think he has obviously has a disability.
Hmm.
And I kind of wish I had that sometimes so I can just tune
Right?
everything
Yeah.
else
Like you
out.
would think it doesn't take away from him. It almost gives him an edge
It
sometimes. You
does.
know,
It
like
helps him stay focused. He doesn't have to listen to the outside noise too
yeah.
much. So, I mean, I kind of idolize that, a
Hmm.
little bit.
Yeah.
But there's so many greats out there right now. I think those ones right there are the main ones. I mean, obviously, Gorst, Fillers, um,
Yeah. I mean, it's hard.
Steyer. It's just there's so
There's
many.
so many top dogs at that elite level
Right.
nowadays that you can put them 1 through 50, but anybody can take the gold in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss up.
Hmm.
And each one, they have their own category that they're mainly in,
Hmm. Right. Yeah.
which is great. I mean, they're great at all of it, but some of them stand out,
Oh, for
more
sure.
in a certain category.
Tony
It's,
Chohan, he still
it's
plays
great.
9 ball and 8 ball, and he'll sign up for those tournaments because he's a really good shot.
Mhm.
but he's a one pocket specialist.
Right.
Let's be honest. So yeah.
Who's
So
yours?
who's mine?
Yeah.
So I said originally. So I've rethought about this one. So initially I said Albin because of his safety game, like and his roboticness, if you will. Like his pre-shot routine, his mise en place, is the same every time, and I love that. And him getting into a safety game, perfect. Like I'm dialed in. And then I said Bustamante, Django,
Right.
to like emulate. What you said, imitate, not emulate.
Yeah.
If I could imitate it because it's not emulatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I love watching Justin Bergman, his cue ball placement, especially that ultimate pull that we watched recently. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
I wish I had more time to actually watch some of the matches, but I don't subscribe to the channels for the most part.
yeah. I mean, it is a time. Like to watch one match, you're looking at an hour.
Oh yeah.
And that's usually like a faster match,
right.
Half hour to an hour. So it is a dedication,
Right.
And then at the same time, you want to be shooting.
In a sense, yeah. I mean, I can put that on, at the workplace and just force other people to watch it, which I do.
Right.
If they don't like it, they can go sit somewhere
Yeah,
else.
there's they can turn around. There's other TVs to look at.
Sure, there's plenty of other TVs, and sometimes I put it on just to annoy a few certain people.
Oh,
which is perfect. But you don't always want to just practice every chance you get, because that's probably one of my biggest downfalls right now.
Yeah, forcing it, especially if you're not feeling it. But I know I was saying, like, when you're watching pool, sometimes you get that itch. You're like, oh man,
yeah.
I'd
for
rather
sure.
be shooting right now. So.
Especially if there's shots that they made that was difficult, and you've made it before. You want to try to set the whole scenario back up again and try to do it again. I haven't really done much of that yet, but so many times I just wanted to stop the video, make sure put the balls out exactly where it was, and try to do it. And when I can't do it, I sit there and watch the video so many times. It's like, I still don't get it.
I still don't. Yeah,
It's so
because
bad.
they make it look so easy.
Yeah, they do,
and that's the beauty in it.
It is.
To someone not watching pool, they're like, okay, they hit the balls in. That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
And that's it.
But when you're hooked on the rail or other balls are in the way, how did they do it? Just a few times I've been able to do it, but some of the harder ones I still can't do. I watched some of those videos where, like Efren's famous Z shot, that he did, people emulate it and try to recreate the whole thing, and how many times it took them to do it,
Right.
It's not easy.
And they know the answer too.
Yeah, and
Like,
some of the great people, it takes them, 20, 30 tries, some 100 tries, so I don't feel too bad about not being able to do it at all.
Yeah, I'd forget counting and just be like, it took me a week.
Right. It took too long.
Oh, right, we did that. Oh, so all right, going back to the cue, because you brought that up, the Shane Van Boning cue, which I was honored to play with, and it felt amazing. What are you going to play with this upcoming 9-ball? Because I kind of know you've been switching back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend's stick, it's a Coda, and it's a little bit lighter, but I feel that I have more control with that one for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just a price tag that I have in my hand with the Van Boeing.
Like you don't want
to
hurt your baby.
Yeah, well, no, it just I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it gives me a little bit more confidence than unsolicited confidence. It's not. I feel like I'm gonna make the shot because I have an expensive cue, and that's not how it works.
Right, yeah.
And
it's a tool.
Right.
You still have to use.
Right. And so using hers, which isn't quite as expensive, but just as good a quality. I mean, it's not a carbon fiber, but
I was gonna say it's maple, right?
Not exactly.
As opposed to yours is carbon fiber.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what hers is, but it feels great. It's nice. It's not too heavy or too light. I feel I can get good English off of it, and I don't know. I'd say it's a toss-up right now. Within the last since Lincoln City last time,
Well, that's when y'all got it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when she bought it. I think that I'm pretty dead even on, if I can shoot better or worse with it.
Mhm.
I shoot just as good with her as with my Q-Tech.
Well, we got
So,
2 weeks, buddy.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
We're about to be throwing down.
I'm 99% sure that I'm gonna switch throughout the
Oh, okay.
matches. So
Yeah.
it depends on what the conditions are.
Mhm.
If it's a little humid in there,
Okay.
I'll probably use hers. Hers, slides a little bit
Mhm.
easier. And I don't know. I think hers holds chalk a little bit better too for some
Okay.
reason.
Yeah.
So, but as long as she doesn't take it away from me, I'm probably still gonna switch.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes that placebo effect's real. Like if you're like,
It
no,
is.
I'm definitely shooting better with this cue,
Right.
you are 100% shooting better with that cue.
Right.
You're like, and
It
I
is.
hope you have a good friend that tells you you're not if you're not.
It is absolutely real. I mean, you have a great tool in your hand, so you just think that you're gonna do better, and
Yeah.
it's not it.
Yeah.
It's been my downfall a few times.
Yeah.
I just thought I was like, especially the easy shots. The ones that people like us who play, for years.
Mhm.
You should be able to make those things in your sleep, and
Right.
you get very complacent, and you don't get the lineup right. You decide to put a little bit more spin on it than you know you need to. You don't adjust the angle, and you miss.
Yeah. It's that comfortability of the expectation because
Right.
you've done it 1,000 times
Yeah,
before.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so just getting complacent and just, make sure you have the same routine every time. And
Mhm.
that's probably my biggest downfall is the consistency. I mean, I honestly think I was a better shooter before my shoulder surgery.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Obviously,
Well, that's gonna
my
change everything.
it
Yeah.
is, but I just haven't gotten back to normal yet, and I
Mhm.
feel, my consistency is not where it used to be or where it needs to be right now. So,
Okay. Well, with that being said, with the league coming up, or just in general, like short term, long term, like what are some of your like goals, performance wise, in that aspect? You know, something small, something big, or short, long term. However you
oh,
like. I
well,
know, and there's we're pool players, so the answer could just be all of it. You know.
well, I think this season I'm gonna go a little bit more than what I have before. I'll probably take my contacts out the night before, so I don't have contact issues or have
Oh,
one
yeah.
blurry and one not. Um, Definitely make sure that I try to get some sleep and definitely eat at least an hour before I
Mhm.
play because
So
you
your
know how you
preparation, like yeah.
yeah, you
Right.
can get fidgety and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and your stroke is a little bit off. So I'm gonna try to take the steps outside of the pool table
Mhm.
first before I even get to the pool table because that's been one of those things where I felt like I've been good enough to beat anybody.
Mhm.
That's just, of course, that's just ego talking, and that's not true.
Yeah.
But
He could. He could.
but I need to win the battle outside before I even get to the
Mhm.
pool table this time around because that's probably one of my biggest issues is
Yeah.
I so many times I've came in and I sleep with my contacts in and I can't see the next day.
Yeah.
I'm Cyclops one eye, and
Mhm.
so I try to play and I'm trying to hit the middle one.
Yeah. Hit the middle one.
So,
Yeah. Triple
you
vision,
and
baby.
maybe if I hit it hard enough,
Yeah. Hey,
it'll
it's
come
nine ball that
in.
you can use that.
Yeah, that is an excuse. Yeah, I'll use
Right.
it this time around. But
That's a
yeah,
great answer though, because I mean, even this league, with the new job and stuff, I've been so tired, and
right.
I want to go play league, and but then I didn't treat myself. I didn't get my good rest the night before. My body's worn out, and I didn't eat. I ate breakfast and then I missed lunch, and now I'm just rushing to get there, and
Oh yeah,
that matters a ton.
sure. Yeah, no, it absolutely does. And eating is probably one of my bigger things. And then maybe trying to actually relax a little bit because most of the time, obviously, I work on pool nights, so I have to get off early, and so
Hmm.
I'm rushing. So I'm getting off of work, and then an hour later, pool league starts,
Yeah.
which means
Oh
that I
yeah.
got to try to get food in, I got to try to eat, and feel good enough to actually play
Hmm.
within that hour stretch right
Yeah.
there. and I don't get a lot of practice time.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my practice is obviously at work,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the wrong kind of practice.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're not focused.
right, and
You're
that
focused on work, and you're trying to fill time by shooting balls.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the wrong kind of practice. You're kind of in a mindset where you don't care if you miss or make it,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to put the stake down and, go tend to a customer or,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So, and that is just the wrong way. I don't have time to
Mm-hmm.
just shut everything else out and just go practice.
Yeah.
I just don't have the time for it.
So maybe that could
And
be
I
one of the
need
big goals then.
that
To
is
like just
right. If I
yeah.
if I want to continue, I love the league and everything else, and I need to find the time to practice. I need to just shut everything else out in my life and
Mm-hmm.
not have any distractions, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's the only practice I get is at work, which is just killing time. It's not practice.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I guess is that one of your big term goals? Then is just like having dedicated, whether it's a little bit, a lot of bit,
uh,
but just dedicated practice as opposed to
well, there's no way I'm going to be able to
like
just
having that
get a lot of
comfortability.
it, right
Right.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, I have other things going on in my life
Of
as
course.
well, so I got to,
Mm-hmm.
make time for that stuff as well. And
Yeah.
it it
It's hard
it
squeezing everything into
it
yeah
is, and
life.
it is for sure. Yeah, life alone is enough to drive you nuts.
Is there many positive benefits coming from pool? Like just I guess just the pool in your day to day life with it, the discipline, the community, meeting people. Like, is there any been like positives in your life from just
Oh
having this
yeah.
hobby around since you were 12? So
Oh yeah.
that's pretty
I've met
extreme.
so many great people
Mm-hmm.
through the pool community. And my brother, he plays pool. I think he's the highest rank you can be for a 9 ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's a 9.7 or something like that, or however the
Mm-hmm.
rating goes. Um, and he's been winning tournaments down in Florida constantly. But he's kind of stuck down there. He has to, get
Mm-hmm.
out to, Vegas and
Yeah.
do his thing, which he's been to Vegas many times, but you're not just going to win as soon as you get there.
Oh, of course
It's
not.
going to
Yeah.
take, the time and the effort and actually staying in that kind of
Mm-hmm.
scenario to do anything. I mean, he's a great pool player. He's better than me, that's for sure. Um, don't let him hear that I admitted that. Uh,
Yeah, we're gonna have
and
the brother throwdown.
right. I mean, I love playing my brother, and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, he's definitely better than me, and he's maybe one or two people in this town that can probably compete with him. I mean,
Okay.
he's
Yeah.
he's
Well, that's rough too because
he's definitely
you're
good.
not going to get better,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah,
until you
yeah.
hit
I
that
mean,
next
he's
level.
been the regional champion down there in
Hmm.
Orlando area for years.
Are you older, or younger?
Younger, year
You're
and a
young.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was a year
Oh,
and a
so
half
not far
older.
off.
No, not too
Yeah.
far
Yeah.
off. Um, but I don't know. I haven't really had many loves in my life.
Yeah.
Pool was definitely one of those things that gave me something to do, and I'll definitely say that if it wasn't for pool, I mean, I probably would have been out there doing some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, so I'm not in jail. Thank you, pool. I'm not saying I would have been in
Yeah.
jail, but playing
No.
pool
Right.
made me just not go out with my friends that I knew that were probably going to get in trouble for
Yeah.
some dumb
Who
reason
knows?
or
Yeah. What
another.
turn life could
Right.
have taken? Yeah. Yeah.
So pool has been a big part of my life.
Hmm.
I mean, I had my own pool table back home. It really sucked to sell it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Besides the paranormal circus that we all went to recently,
Mhm,
the only time I go out was to play pool.
right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, and if I didn't have that, I'd probably find excuses to get out just to get out, and then
End
you
up playing
know,
pool.
yeah, and then well, hopefully I ended up playing pool. Um, fingers crossed.
Right.
Uh,
That's why I got my sticks at work, and then I got a set of sticks here so I can play at least play,
mhm.
in one of the couple places. wherever I'm at.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Yeah. Stroke show. Hit that click and stick. Click and stick the subscribe button. So, yeah, it's going to get used to throwing that in there before half an hour. Maybe. But you know what to do already.
Oh, yeah.
9-ball, man. You ready for it? You excited for it? I mean, obviously, based off some of your answers.
Well, I mean,
But you're playing with the boys.
I'm excited, yes. Do I think that I'm gonna attend Lincoln City for it? I don't know. I really don't know. Lincoln City is a different animal.
We got a roof rack on the car, so
Yeah,
we'll bring them.
Yeah, that's not really the point. The point is, I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having to get up and play at 9 o'clock in the morning. That was
Well, we don't get up and play. We get up and compete.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's what messed me up last year. Graveyard shift, and then
Back
getting
up to
off
play,
at 5
yeah.
a.m. or 6 a.m. and then now I'm getting up at 6 or
Yeah. No.
And so like I thought I was good, but then a couple buddies are like, dude, you were in zombie mode for all week.
Yeah. That's how it happens. I usually don't even wake up till 10 in the morning, and it takes me like an hour to get ready to go to work. I mean, you have to get up, you have to rush in, and then you have to try to find a table.
Yeah.
And that's so difficult.
Well, yeah, that's why
It's
the more of
insane.
us, the merrier. You
Yeah.
know, I'm up early. I'll just be holding a table before they even open.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
We need to pay somebody to just go in there and sit on a table for 5 minutes so we can get there. Not let anybody else touch it. But I'm excited in the fact that there's no divisions.
I was gonna ask you about that. You are excited that there is no division.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little feeling the opposite.
Really?
Why? Why you
Because
just
I
less expectation or
I don't know. I think it's just kind of more of a fair play. Just have at it. The king of the hill. The last man standing kind of
so
thing.
like even for newcomers, like they're like, yeah, I want to play 9-ball. This is my first 9-ball league. I'm gonna get a queue and I'm gonna show up. And then they play 5, 8, and under, which is our team name, by the way. So and then they play 5, 8, and under, and then they're wanting to be 5, 8, and under.
Well, isn't that how the saying goes? Is to be the best, you got to beat the best.
For sure,
you don't want to play people worse than you. You want to play people better than you.
There you go. You just said it. You don't want to play
So-
people worse than you. And one of my goals was to get to my Fargo up. And I hope it's a nice balance of the teams, though. I hope we play some good players, because if everybody's going to be in the same division, we're not going to play everyone. So I'm hoping that we do play some caliber of teams to where
I guess besides
they can make
you
fun of me
actually
later.
knowing the players that are on the team, I think it's kind of exciting to know what kind of team you're gonna get.
Oh, yeah, because we know everyone in the
gonna
community.
face.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, if we didn't know everybody, it would be different. It would be great. It'd be like the Hunger Games.
You wouldn't know,
just going right in.
regardless.
And
For yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Okay.
The fact that you don't know what you're gonna get, and there's so many teams.
I like that take though. I like that take because I was very.
I mean, you can
I was
go
a
in and
little
get your
irritated
ass
about it,
kicked,
not
or you
gonna
can
lie.
go in and take names. Whatever.
Mhm.
It's
I mean, they're
I
really
guess that's
coming
the fun
down
of
to
it.
like you're doing this to qualify for Lincoln in the end, like for next year. Like you have to play this year for next year. So
right, but I still kind of find that as a misconception. I mean, you just have to play to be qualified for
Yeah.
Lincoln City. You don't have to win.
no.
I mean,
no.
but-
But I'm just
Right.
saying, maybe like somebody who, rather than get set into divisions, they'll be like, okay, I just need to get my weeks in, or they work till 6:30 on Mondays, and they're like, yeah, I know I'm not showing up to perform, but I just need to get my games in,
Right.
so then I can take that week off and
Right.
you know,
And I
go
think
make some
I think
money.
we've all done it for the most part. We've all just like, hey, do you need a sub? I'll sub in. I need to get my weeks in just to get qualified. Whether you win or lose, that's inconsequential.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
just for you to get your numbers up so you can enter the big
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number go up. That's a goal.
Yeah.
Number go up.
9 ball for you?
Nine ball, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I started on 9 ball for my first league, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Because swapping to 8 ball, there's too many options. Like I can count to 9 and 10, believe it or not. So I'm pretty. I can follow those games very well. And then and then in 8 ball, I just go stripe solid, so I don't have to count that
Right.
high.
You know,
But
on that
sorry, go
note,
ahead.
I kind of wish that we would go to like the Europe version and just have all yellow and all red balls,
Oh.
and then one black. You know, get rid of the numbers.
Do they make them in the same weight? Because I have heard they're like slightly a different weight.
I mean,
and
if
possibly
you
different
have
size.
the same set, what's it matter?
No, I'm saying be from an American pool ball in between those yellow and
The-
red. I heard they're like slightly different weight.
That's a good
possibly,
question.
or-
I'm not sure. I just like the layout.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would much prefer the layout and just
It's like
hit all red or all yellow.
that ball's spinning.
You know,
And you can't tell. And that's how like the red and yellows are. They look like they're gliding across the table.
Yeah.
And that way, no one has to worry about counting to
oh yeah, no.
whatever's past 10.
I mean, if you're playing an individual game, you know, like 15 ball or something like that, obviously you need a number of balls. But,
right.
you know, I'm an 8 ball guy, so I wish our format would just move to that. You know, just have a set for 8 ball and you know numbers for all the other games that you can play.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would recommend anybody getting into pool actually is to look into 9 ball. 8 ball is like, you know, very common and it's played with everyone. But the easy, like if you really want to get into it and deep dive your gameplay and everything, it's so much easier to focus on 1 ball. You know what ball you're going for next.
Mhm.
You know what ball your opponent's going for next.
Right.
So there's no, like, you can really hone in a lot of your focus as opposed to second guessing, having 7 balls on the table.
Oh, yeah,
Shooting that one and you're like, that was obviously the wrong shot, but I was.
It is a more simplified game.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So as anybody getting into it, I feel like that's really where you can get your fundamentals down. But you can also get safety and 3 foul just.
Oh, sure.
Feel great.
Sure.
Not feel great about it.
I mean, I think you already know me. I'm not a safety player. When I pull off a killer safety, it's like a birthday.
Yeah. This guy did one in the other house the other day. I was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it was great.
I
It was
gotta get in that
beautiful.
mindset, man. I know that's
The percentages.
believe me. Like I said, I think I can shoot with the best of them shot wise.
Mhm.
It's the safety game that I always lose at when I'm in Lincoln City or playing a big game or something because I don't play that game. I'm a very aggressive shooter.
Well, does it
And-
because you've been playing so long? Is it because when that shot comes up, even though it's hard, you've made it before, and you're like, that's in your head. You're like, I can make this,
Right.
As opposed to like, I don't need to play safety. Like
Right.
I've done it before. Let's run it
And-
back.
And this is, I mean, as an adult, this is like the first town that I've been in that actually have pool leagues. Where I was before, yeah, I was the best player in town, but I mean, it was basically bar rules.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there was no BCA, APA, or safeties or anything.
I didn't
you
know about any of that until
I-
I met.
I mean, I knew about it and
You?
I played it many times,
Mm-hmm.
especially by myself in my garage, but nobody else played that. I
Mhm.
was, so for the first, I'm 45, I started at 12, I moved here 6 years ago. So for the last 20 years, before I got here, it was just all aggressive shooting. There
Mhm.
was no safeties. There was, and probably maybe the first 2 years I was here, you know, I did the city leagues, but there was no safeties in that either.
Mhm.
It was all aggressive shooting. So it's only been like maybe the last 4 years
Okay.
that I've actually, you know, mentally trying to get into the BCA.
You have to even remind yourself
scenario.
of that if you're not like, that rule set that you're.
It
That's not where your
definitely-
mind is.
Definitely, because
Um,
my mind directly goes to, okay, I can make this,
Mm-hmm.
but how's it gonna leave me? You know, everything else. And I mean, I would make it, and I would leave myself so bad
Yeah.
that
That's
a
why you're Houdini.
a safety would have been 100% better. But my brain just doesn't think like that. You know,
Yeah.
I would rather go for the knockout than try to wear the other person down. You know,
Yeah. So
That's-
I've been doing the flip flop. When I first started, I was not a good ball pocketer, and going straight into BCA, I knew I
Mhm.
could play safeties. So I was like, if I can't beat you right out, I'm just gonna make you play your best game.
Right.
So safeties were like a big part of it. As to where now I'm trying to flip that switch a little bit, be a bit more aggressive, and I think I flipped that switch a little too much the last 3 or 4 months, but it's been good
Right.
because taking shots, and then some of them I am making and doing well, is to where I would have ducked any time before and probably given the game away.
So how many times have you played a safety and it came back to bite you in the ass when you could have made the shot instead of playing a safety?
So in like an easy shot or like
Moderate.
so
I mean,
at
not
my
a
skill level it's a
difficult bank.
30% chance to make it, but for a pro they're gonna 80%.
Okay, so for you,
Because that's how I base whether I'm doing it off of usually.
well, that's why that was a question.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, did you choose a safety over a shot that you knew you can make, and did it come back to haunt you?
I'm sure, definitely. Yeah. I remember one time I thought I was getting away with the dirtiest safety, and it wasn't a shot I thought I could make.
Right.
So that's a little difference. But I shot the one right in between the cue ball in between two balls. Shot the one down table. It hit like two other balls and went in. So then I was safety myself.
Gotcha.
In that aspect. So yeah, and then he ran off the table because I couldn't hit the two.
Yeah, I couldn't hit the two.
But I mean, if anything, I will do that and just overrun the safety. Like, so if in that aspect, it's just missing the safety.
Gotcha.
But
I
I get punished a lot, so that's how I.
Yeah,
learn.
I definitely get punished on the safeties. Yeah, Massey, he gets pretty lucky with his safeties.
Yeah.
And for some reason, every time I try to safety him, he somehow pulls it out. He'll hit it, and he puts me in some safeties where it's, for some reason, I overplay it. I can hit the ball, but I completely miss it. And I'm just...
Is it because he keeps getting out of all your safeties? And
Maybe. I think it's
just that.
I think it's just him. I think anybody else, I'd play fine.
Yeah, I need to just deal with it or be okay
But,
with it.
I made a sign for him for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and it's proudly displayed in the house.
Yes, framed and all.
Yes, yes.
As soon as you walk in. As soon as you walk in, baby.
Yeah, sign out of a bar of napkins.
So our team name, we've mentioned it a few times.
Yep.
This guy came up with it, and I loved it. Well, he came up with it for our 8-ball team.
Yeah, it was 8-ball.
Our previous captain just dropped the ball on that. And so our team name was Uh-Oh. Like, not because we didn't fail to put it in, but that was a placeholder. And so yeah, Uh-Oh. And we've upgraded to 5'8" and under.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that?
Wow. I don't know.
I remember the exact place and situation.
Yeah,
I
I believe it was at the private tables.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the table.
I mean, I was definitely drinking.
Oh, psh.
But
We were playing pool. I mean,
right. I don't know why it came to me. I think we were all just standing outside, and I mean, obviously, I'm the shortest. Matt, he's not too much bigger than me, but I was just, it seemed right, just we're all not tall.
Well, we weren't talking about it at the time, which was weird. And you looked over to me and you're like, "How tall are you?" It's like 5'8".
Yeah.
You're like, and then you just looked at me and you said 5'8" and under.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Just one of those epiphanies where you just, you find a gem in a dirty rock, and that was it.
Yeah. So when we need a fourth, well, that slot's already taken anyways. But yeah, there's criteria to be on this team. That's having 5'8" under in your profile.
Yeah. That's that I definitely stand out for being under 5'8".
Nice. Is there anything you're excited moving forward with pool, Lincoln? I mean, I know you said maybe not Lincoln, but
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Lincoln, but I mean, I am excited about the prospect of upgrading this
Mhm.
to be able to practice, on a competition level
Right.
table
Yeah.
consistently.
Practice how we're gonna play.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would mean the world. It's be difference,
Yeah.
night and day.
And we did get
You know,
the benefit of we're playing out of Roadhouse, so we will have
Right.
that quality of
Yeah,
at least for our home matches. So
yeah.
don't send us to Cottage Grove.
No. Jeez.
Cresswell, we're not coming.
Let's reschedule and have them come to our home.
Yeah. We'll just call the team. I'm sure they'd be up for it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
they would all love to come to Eugene.
Yeah. I think their balls are still like those toy tables where you come with the ping pong set.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah.
not upgraded at all.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goodness. Did we? No. You guys went out there. I don't think I played with you guys for 8 ball. Did you go out there for
8 ball.
Crestball
Cresswell
or Cottage Grove?
Yeah, cuz we all went to Cottage Grove.
Did I go?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we were all geniuses and drove separate. Oh no, I did. Did I carpool with you, Massey? I think I did.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
But yeah,
I do.
we definitely went out there.
I do remember that. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was last season or 2 seasons ago because they cram everything in together.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
with
and we missed the first 8 ball season this
right.
year.
And with the 10 ball season in between, just to fill the gap, it was
Do it again.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Especially having to work those nights,
Well, keeping up with all the info, it's not very prevalent on when and how and where and when to sign up, when to do all that.
Hey, that's why I decided not to be a captain anymore because I don't need that nonsense.
I got you.
I don't need to rush around, get off of work and play an hour later while being the captain and trying to, get everything done.
Yeah, steer the ship. Yeah.
No, it's just too much. It was a
Too
lot.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying what am I in for then? I didn't get volunteered. I kind of, I volunteered myself and got volunteered by my teammates for captains.
Oh, you're gonna do great.
It's a
man.
mutual volunteer.
You're gonna do great. You're not gonna have any hiccups. You're gonna do great.
Stress free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
We gotta get a scorekeeper. We were
not
thinking about
so
that. We should get a
bad.
scorekeeper because there's 3 of us playing.
Right.
3 games. You play everybody 3 times. 9 games. Boom, boom, boom. You're using. One person's keeping score. One person's playing. One person's trying to relax.
I'm already annoyed that the games are so few.
Mm-hmm.
A
little more than 8 ball, but yeah.
I know, but
quicker.
they used to be more.
Mhm.
And trying to get somebody else to just volunteer their time to drive to Crestwell or Cottage Grove for that far just for a freaking hour
Yeah.
to write on a paper, I wouldn't ask that of anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would be a friend.
Sure,
Put a post on the in the
Sure.
classifieds looking for a scorekeeper.
all you
Must
get
have.
all you get is a few free beers for your
few
service.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to pay for your own gas.
Yeah. No, I mean, we could carpool up Cottage Grove. I mean, that's worst case scenario. Most places are pretty close. And then you're just dealing with table quality after that. And then,
That's kind of what
So-
I'm more thankful of is that 90% of it is, maybe 95% of it is in, a 10-mile area.
Mhm, yeah.
It's except for those outside ones that.
yeah, I think we went to a couple in Springfield last year.
Spring-
Even that wasn't too
Springfield's
bad.
not
That's
bad,
not bad at all. I mean,
know.
they're the same.
I mean, I think the furthest one was Conway's, maybe, right before Thurston.
But even that's a straight shot.
Yeah, it is.
What
It
are you
is.
gonna do?
I mean, it's not too bad, but I don't want to get in a car and have to drive for half an hour,
Yeah, well,
45
ride a bike.
minutes.
Take your scooter.
Ride a bike, yeah.
You
I'm
don't
gonna
want to get a car?
I'm gonna be late,
Take the
guys. Don't start without me.
Yeah, don't start without me.
Then my battery runs out.
Yeah.
It only goes 20 miles. I gotta hook up my little phone charger, my battery bank.
No, well, you don't have to get in the car. We'll pull you behind.
That's
fine.
I mean, I do have a bike.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I just got to get it back.
yeah. We got to do that 90-degree skid turn later.
No.
Yeah, gonna be glorious.
I used to.
How many scabs on the elbows and knees are you gonna get?
I used to be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Back in the day, baby.
Back
Woo.
in the day.
What are we looking at time wise? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah. Probably go take a piss, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, pause it for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you can do you. You do you.
Okay.
Come back. We can edit it right out.
Okay.
We can spice it up. We can wrap it up right here, actually. It would probably be best. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Just wrap it up?
Sure.
Just have a little fun? Well, thank you for tuning in to the Stroke Show, episode 3. And with Hudeeny, and I'm no one. So hit that click and... oh my God, I'm not going to get this forever. Click and stick that subscribe button. And
Hit that click and stick.
That one's not set. Click and stick for sure. You want to say any byes or hellos? Or
No, no one likes me and I don't like anybody. Goodbye.
You're right, I do. Peace.
Till next time.
Yeah, dude.
You guys are at 51.